Hey hair friends, welcome back to my channel, and this video is about purchasing a new topper and making it less wiggy, making it more realistic and more for you. So recently in my search to find the perfect cap size, I've been going kind of crazy buying the Highline toppers. Now, this current one is one that I've had for maybe 4 months, and I feel like I have achieved a very realistic look. I'm very happy with it, except for the cap size. And the reason I have a problem with the cap size is not because of comfort. It's more of I don't have enough coverage in the back. Sometimes if I put clips a certain way, I feel like the hair splits because there's not enough of it and it reveals a little bit of my scalp, and that is why I'm looking for a larger topper size or larger cap size. So I since then have, this is a 6x7, and I have purchased after that an 8x8, and then now I have a 8x9. And this is it here. This is my latest purchase. I'm sorry if you could hear stuff in the background. My landlord's doing some remodeling or something, and I need to catch this perfect light, so I'm doing this video with that in the background regardless. So the 8x9, it should have more hair coverage in the back because it has more rows of wefts. So let's try this on, and I'm going to show you kind of what I do. This is out of the box. I have not styled it. I have not done anything to it. I have not moved the part. So I'm gonna show you kind of like what I do to make it more realistic and more of the look for me. So this is, the topper I've had for a few months. No matter kind of how I put it, it looks realistic. But now if we put on this new topper that is right out of the box, which, okay, again, that does work for some people. Some people can just kind of like throw it on and have it work for them. But me, I just need a few slight tweaks. Some people need a lot of tweaking. I personally need not so much, but every little bit helps. So it still has the comb here, so I'm gonna have to remove that because I prefer clips. But see, oh, also it's in the middle. I'm so not used to putting a middle part. So already I can feel that it's hugging my head better. Like instead of kind of sitting at the top, it feels like it's kind of hugging it because it comes down a little lower. So that is a plus. Oh. Middle part, not about that life really yet. Okay. So this is it without doing anything to it. Okay. I'm not totally mad at it. It could be worse. It could look a lot less realistic. But to me, because it's the middle part, it's just not me. Although it looks pretty decent. So, and it just looks a little big, a little bit like it's just sitting on top of my head, which that's not what I want. I want it to be looking like this is not sitting on top of my head, this should be growing out of my head. So, I feel like if I tuck it behind my ears, it helps, but like, just like my other topper, no matter how I put it, I want it to look like realistic. So I'm going to start off by taking a few seconds to show you just how far you can go down the parting space. Because of course there's a limitation. The parting space is only about 4 or 4.5 inches. And if you keep going down further and further, you eventually start hitting wefts, which is what you're seeing here. So I kind of use my eye as kind of like a place marker for where I want to put my part. And what I love about Highline toppers is that it's really easy to move the part or manipulate like the direction you want the hair to go. I've had toppers in the past where it's a whole ordeal to like try to redirect where you want the hair parting or what direction you want the hair to go.
So I definitely love that about the Highline toppers. And I use these clips to kind of help set the hair so it doesn't, start moving to the other side again. And I go ahead and spray it down pretty decently with water, but not just water, also with heat protectant. I use a thin comb to really get in there and help set the hair in the direction that I want it to go. And next I start blow drying. Now when I blow dry, I still have the clip just to make sure the hair doesn't move, and I continue adding water, and with my fingers I really get in there pushing it back, almost like pushing it back from like the forehead to the back of the head. So I'm not just blow drying it to create the part, I'm also blow drying it towards the back or away from the face, just so it gives it a nice face frame, and also so it's less front heavy and it just falls nice and back, so it's not all in your face and going over your eyes and such. So I'm pretty much done. All that's left is to put it on my head. As you can see, I do leave a little bit of my bio hair out in the front so I can help blend that hairline. And when I clip, I only clip 4 clips each day in rotation, so I'm not clipping in the same place every day. And then I just use my fingers to blend, or I use a brush and finish off by getting those front hairs in place, and we're good to go.
Now, just simply putting in the side part, it feels so much more like me. I usually do like some ear tucking, or I usually do a lot of pinning to the side. But regularly, I would right away straighten the hair, because I feel like I'm so not used to having waves in my hair because I just never had the hair to do it. But the way this one came curled, I really like it, and I feel like it looks pretty natural, because like when I actually try to curl the piece myself, it ends up looking really wiggy. I just need to master the curls. The way Sharon sent this one curled is just perfect. So yeah, just simply putting a side part in really works for me. If I felt a little uncomfortable with it still, I think straightening it would be my next step. But then since I finally found a topper cap size that is good for me, like this fits a lot better, it feels a lot better than the smaller ones. This is like on the 8x9, and the 6x7 was just a little small. So since I finally found a piece that works for me, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this into a salon that they work with toppers and wigs all the time, so they could give me some nice little face framing layers. So I know it's something so simple, simply changing the part, laying it right, but it makes a huge difference. Trust me, I totally freaked out when I first got my first Highline, because I went from another topper of 16 inches to a Highline topper of 24 inches, and that is a lot of hair to gain. And because it was wavy or curled, it like made me next level worried, because it was a different cap construction, because it was a middle part, just all these things. Like I put it on my head, and like I was like, oh no, what did I do? Even the silk of the scalp, really the fake scalp, was a little different of a skin tone, so that made me freak out too. So there was just like a lot of things, but I just took a few moments and I was like, okay, how do I make this more like me? And I straightened it and I changed the part, and that made it feel more like me. Some people like to give it a trim, whether it's like on the ends or face framing layers, which is actually what I want to do now that I found my proper topper size. But just don't give up, don't get distraught, don't give up hope. Just contact your seller if you're having some, if you're a little worried about being able to successfully make it comfortable for you to wear. Contact them, find out what you can and can't do, because some of them are okay if you change the part, some of them are okay if you straighten it, but others are like, no, you can't alter it in any way. So make sure on that first, and then once you get the okay to go ahead and give it, try a few tweaks, go ahead and do it. You just don't want to do anything that won't allow you to return it if you maybe plan on returning it. And something else I wanted to mention at the end of my videos is I think it's super awesome that I'm realizing that this is kind of a worldwide community. You know, it's not only in the States, it's in Australia, it's in South America, it's in India, it's in, you know, Britain. Like, it's everywhere. You know, people are coming together and just creating conversations, and a lot of times people want local support. And it's awesome to know that there's, you know, someone in your city or the city next to your city that is going through the same thing. So it's like you can have one-on-one meetups, you can have group meetups, you can just meet up to even like have topper try-on sessions, like anything. So if you're looking to connect, comment what city you are in, and maybe you can find a local friend near you. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Jen from Chicago, and don't forget, we are fierce, knowledgeable, and taking control. I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.